Hey everybody, welcome back to the show. Very excited to be joined by Gogo here today, and she's going to be talking a little bit about her real estate business and how she's grown and developed personally. So Gogo, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today, and would love to get started by just hearing a little bit about your story and how you got into sales coaching and in this business.
Oh, that's funny. So I started out as a broke agent. So I'm in real estate. I got licensed in 2011. And I was a stay-at-home mom. I love watching HGTV. They make it look so simple. So I thought, how hard can it be? I got into real estate, mind you. I moved to the US in 2003. At the time, I was 21 years old. So I have no college education. I have no US background. I have no cousins. I have no sphere of influence. I have got no one on this whole continent, right? So for me, getting into sales, I had all kinds of things going against me. Like my real name is impossible to pronounce for any American. My husband, after 22 years, still hasn't called me on my name because he can't pronounce it. And so the name, the lack of education, we were broke at the time, so we had no money to market ourselves. And when I got into real estate, I really was faced with reality. I thought it was going to be super easy because HGTV made it look so easy, right? And so in my first year, I made $16,000. So I was like a slow start. And after that, every year I doubled my income, but still, it's like slow. Second year, I made like 36, then I made 74, then I made 156, then I made, you know what I mean? So it was like, year four, I finally like broke, six digits. And so I wasn't that success story that like from the get-go, I, became an icon agent or something. I took my sweet time. Granted, at the time, my kids were 2 and 4 when I got licensed. So I was still very much a stay-at-home mom. I would stay home with them during the day. And when my husband came home, I would hand over the kids and go show houses. So I would work evenings and weekends when he was home because we could not afford a babysitter. And so, because of that, it started out slow. But by the time year 4 and 5 came about, my kids ended up going to school full time, right? So now I'm like, I had all of this time and all of the time to research and all of the time. And by that time, I formed relationships because now my kids are in school and there's drop off and pick up and field dates and the zoo. And, we would meet other parents and other parents of other kids that, became friends and they become clients. And I'm very lucky to say that most of my clients became friends and most of my friends became clients. So it's I'm very lucky that way, but I am a very people person, not a people pleaser, but a people person. And I'm also good with sales and I truly care about their bottom line. And I would be the first one to tell them, like, you can afford this. Like, let's just, let's not be house rich and pizza poor where you can afford pizza or something like that, just so I can make a commission. So I'm always very, very honest. Anyone that knows me would tell you that I have an inability to lie. I can't. I cannot sugarcoat and I cannot say anything but the truth, whatever I think is the truth, right? My truth, so sad. So that's it. It was a slow start. And because I had no sphere originally, I had to figure out where am I going to get my clients from. And I figured strangers because I didn't know anyone. And I was like, okay, where are strangers? And at the time they were on Facebook. And I was like, fine. I created Gogo's Real Estate on Facebook, and that's how it started. Over time, a few years later, I took my party over to Instagram because by that time I was so busy, my head was spinning, and I had all of these like fun stories to share, but I didn't want my clients to know that I'm so sad bitching about them
I love it.
or sharing the funny experience, I should say, right? And so I took my party over to Instagram thinking that I don't know why I thought they're not going to follow me there, but they did. And so on Instagram, I started talking mostly to the agents, right? Where on Facebook, originally, I was the next buyer and seller, the last transaction, the next transaction. And when I started on Instagram, there was more that conversation with the agent and what it actually takes to be a realtor, right? So on the real estate side of things, on Instagram, I started having more and more and more followers, most of which were realtors. And then as that was happening and my social media was blowing up and I started having thousands and thousands of followers, they asked me, hey, Gogo, how do you do it? Like, how do you do this? And how do you do that? And this is long before Reels and things like that. This is back in the day where like you shared a link from your KV core and you were able to lead generate with like, that was like, whoa, that's insane, right? And so that started, and then I created a boot camp that was called Gogo's Boot Camp, social media, and I would teach realtors. Originally, it started out to be like 40 some dollars, and eventually was up to like $7,000 when we were doing a program that was called Done With You. And so I went very quickly from a low ticket item to a high ticket item, and then at some point I had like 40 some employees. And I have two Comma Club awards. So I'm not sure if you're familiar with that when you build a funnel. And if that funnel sells over $1 million, then you get a 2 Comma Club awards. I have 3 of those on the wall right here next to me. So I got one for Gogo's Bootcamp social media. And then when I switched over to EXP, which was in my 8th year of my real estate career, I switched over to a brokerage called EXP. And at EXP, we get to do what's called building the downline on our organization. It's pretty much agent attraction, right? And so when I came over, I knew that's what I want to do, because by that time I was a top producing agent. I know how to sell a house with my eyes closed in 2 other languages, right? And I was like, okay, I need to build another source of income. And then I started doing agent attraction. I built what we call today the Team Gogo organization. And in Team Gogo today, we have over 1,407, last time I checked, so 1,407 agents. We did $2.7 billion in sales this year alone. So year to date, $2.7 billion. We'll probably close the year somewhere between $3.2 to $3.5 billion. And then I get to take what's called revenue share off of those sales that gets generated. So today, that's one of my biggest sources of income. And when that happened and I became the #1 agent attracting woman in the company, then agents were asking me, how do you do that? And so I created another boot camp called Gogo's Bootcamp Agent Attraction. So I had the social media initially, then we added on agent attraction. I also got a 2 Comma Club award for that as well. And then now I have a community. So as I grew up in the industry and I became an investor, and I need to learn that you have to have a 6,000 pound car, and I learned to pretty much write off oxygen, right? Like with cost segregation and having employees and invest into yourself, and all of these different things. Then agents started asking me, like, how do you do that? How many properties do you guys own? And all of these different things. And I realized there is no training on what to do with the money after you make it, right? Like they teach us how to hustle for the rest of your life. But how are you supposed to build wealth? Like, where is the end to this? Because somebody who goes and works in corporate America, at least they know one day they get to retire, 67 and a half or something. Like, what do we do? Like, how many realtors do you go to a retirement party? No one ever, because we just plop into the grave and die, right? So I was like, okay, I have to have an exit strategy. I have to build something. And so I started doing all this research. I would go to events and read books. As you can see, I see you're a book reader. I'm a book reader, right? I would read books and listen to podcasts and watch documentaries and go to events and sign up for coaching and all of these different things. And then finally, I figured out how to reduce our taxable income and how to start building wealth and cryptocurrency and all of these different things, right? So I would say we are very well diverse in our investments. And then I realized an agent started asking me that, like, how did you move yourself from production? How many properties do you own? And all of these questions, I realized there is no training for that, right? And so then I created the GoGet'Em Community, because by this time, um, my head is spinning for how much I work, right? And my hourly rate is so high that to do one-on-one coaching, can't really afford that, or I can't charge enough for somebody, right? And well, I could. That's a lie. That's a whole other conversation. But pretty much it comes down to I can't do that anymore. Plus, I really want to change the world. And so I want to help as many entrepreneurs who are ready to the next level, to go from 6 digits to 7 digits, for active income to passive income, and building wealth, so then one day your money allows you to be free. So then I created the GoGet'Em Community, because I realized that I had to go to so many different places. So today I have my GoGet'Em Community. And then one step further, I really enjoy having a significant change in someone's life, where I can be like, I can take credit for that, right? And so I started my coaching program, in which I never have more than 20 people at a time. But those are pretty much the only people today who have direct access to me, that they get to meet once a week, and then they can pick my brain, and I can pretty much anything that they want to know about how we built anything, or anything I know anything about, they get to do that. And that's called the Circle. So that's pretty much my career in an elevator pitch. How many minutes did that take?
No, that was great. That was a full breakdown. I love the niche of just focusing on realtors and teaching them about money management, because amazing how many realtors are making a great income, but at the end of the day, they have nothing. It's insane. So good on
It's
you for doing that.
And if you think about it, we help people build their wealth,
Hmm.
but most realtors are not investors.
Right. It's a different skill set, right? It's completely different.
And I'm like, how can I possibly be the best advocate for you, or the best negotiator for you, if I've never done it myself? Like, that's not something you can learn in the books. Like, be like, "Ooh, I think you should invest into this." No, you need to go through that. You need to experience that. You need to learn about the financing and the different options. Not only that, but everybody needs investments. If not, you're going to be working until the rest of your life. You have to learn to put your money to work for you.
Absolutely. No, I love it. I think it's so smart. When you take a look at your coaching business and as you were building that up, transitioning, what was that transition like going from an agent to a coach? Was that smooth? Did it take you a few years as well to get that coaching business up and running?
Years, right? Because if you think about it as a realtor, most realtors don't have employees, right? So I learned very early on. I always had an assistant, but I was a top producing agent by that time, right? So we already were busy with transactions. And so, in order for me to create more time for myself to be able to create digital products, I had two options. I can burn the candle on the same angle, both angles at the same time, right? Meaning I'm still in production and I'm building a program, a digital product, which I did. That's what I did at first with my social media bootcamp. I was a full blown top producing realtor, solo agent, and I built my social media bootcamp at the same time, burn a candle on each angle. Then, when the second round of the agent attraction bootcamp came about, by that time I built a real estate team. So I was still involved in the real estate side of things, but I was involved through coaching my local team. They did all the transactions, so that kind of gave me more time to build the agent attraction bootcamp. And then fast forward to now, I have not personally sold the property in about 3.5 years, but it took me about 3.5 years to remove myself altogether from production. So I would like to say that anything that you decide to do at first, you have to do both because at first you don't have the money. Right. At first, you barely making the money to cover your bills, and then now you have to add employees, and you have to add systems, and you have to buy coaching programs, and you have to figure out the Go High levels, and the ClickFunnels, and the Kajabis, and the checkout pages, and the Stripes, and all of these different things that all cost money. And on top of it, now you have to have employees who are going to help you set up these things and manage these things, right? Because you can't necessarily create a digital product, especially if it's a coaching program by yourself. Now, if you're creating an ebook, let's sure fine. You create it one time, put it up for sale, market it a couple of times, call it a day. But that's not what I do, right? Mine are full blown coaching programs, video based, monthly meetings, lives, recordings, all of that, Q&As, all of that. So it requires a village. So I would say at first, burn the candles on all angles and eventually create the products where you can remove yourself from one or the other things, right? Because time is money and time is life. And then you can concentrate on that thing. But yes, there isn't, I yet to meet an overnight success.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt. No doubt. And I think that's great advice, especially because you're in the business of coaching. So as you're actually implementing and doing the work, you can document it and it works really well in the business because it's like, oh, like Gogo's not doing any real estate. Why should I listen to her? But you mentioned like, okay, you're actually
That's the
doing the
whole
deals.
point.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my favorite. When I hear that, I'm like, hold on a minute. I make more money now than I ever have when I was a top producing agent, but I haven't sold a single house. So maybe you should listen. I mean,
Absolutely.
I'm not saying that selling real estate is bad. It is not bad at all. I believe in selling real estate. That's how I make most of my money and buying real estate, right? But in the same time, what if you get pregnant?
Mm.
What if you want to take a week off? What if you have a baby, a grandbaby, and want to spend some time with them? What if your parents are getting older and you would like to be there for them? So all I'm saying is build those sources of income that will allow you to be able to live life if you need to.
Oh yeah. And as realtors, there's no pension plan. Like my previous job, what I was doing is we worked at a financial literacy company and our target audience was realtors because they were the worst with their money. Like they needed so much coaching. And it was like,
Isn't that funny? I don't know why that is. Many of them have no idea where the leads are coming from. Many of them have no idea what their average price range is or what's their average commission. Many of them don't even know if they have a cap or a cut. Or I'm like, what do you mean? Like, did you just go to a brokerage and just said like, okay, sure, just take my money for the rest of your life and you don't care how much that is? Like, especially when you become a top producing agent, you need to know those numbers and you have to have trackers. And I mean, how deep do you want to go?
oh yeah, the whole shebang. You need everything. Absolutely. If you're a realtor listening to this, is Gogo's the person that you need to reach out to because she's figured all this out. And like, yeah, like to your point, if you don't figure it out, you're 70 years old. I remember meeting realtors, they were 70, 80, and it's like, I don't want to work, but I have to work. Like,
Yeah, because they haven't learned how to invest and they only made income if and when they sold the house.
yeah, oh, no doubt. When you take a look at as you were growing your coaching business, what were some of the biggest kind of challenges or mistakes you made that if you could go back in time, you're like, oh, like, go, like, don't do that or do this? What would some of those kind of lessons be?
Oh gosh. I mean, there's so many that you can look back, hindsight is 2020, but I would still do it the same way because those are lessons I learned. Does that make sense? So
Yeah.
at first, I would say everybody starts out with the one-on-one. The problem with one-on-one, okay, so the positive with one-on-one is that you can make a significant change in someone's life,
Yeah.
right? The problem with one-on-one as a coach for you income-wise is that you're limited and you're going to hit a ceiling. You cannot scale a one-on-one coaching business because there's only one of you, there's only 24 hours. So if you're spending an hour per coaching client, like you can't really have more than 40 of them in a week, right? Unless if you still want to have a life. And even that is not reasonable. Like I can tell you, if I have more than 4 coaching calls in a day, I'm ready to pull my hair out. Like there's no way that I could do 8 in a day and be pleasant with the 8th one. Does that make sense? Yeah. So it's just not it's not scalable. So I would say it would be a group coaching call. Then I would recommend. And then with the group coaching call, is like okay, you start out of it like let's say a 6 month what is it called gosh contract, right? When
Cohort?
they are yeah when they are like
A
gosh I can
cohort?
what did you say?
Cohort? Like a group 6 months at a time?
Yeah, yeah, kind of. But like my coaching, you can come in at any time. So there's not like you're not like we are starting this at this time and end at this time. It's just never ending, right? Because they can come and ask me anything. It's like I help you build your business, whatever you need in your business. Commitment is a 6 months commitment. That's the word I was looking for. So originally I started out with a 6 months commitment. And then I realized I was like, well, you can't really, in order to really make a significant change in someone's life, they need systems, they need employees. Those employees need to be trained. Those systems need to be set up. We need to put them through a bunch of tests and realize, oh, we need to switch it a little bit here and we need to add this on and we need to remove that and you need another VA and all of those different things. We need to grow your social media account. It's going to require time and all of these different things. And then you realize that 6 months is not really enough to make a significant change in someone's life. And then so I upped it to 12 months. But then in 12 months, I got some coaching clients when I was like, 12 months is a long time. I don't want to spend a year with some of these people, even if they pay me. You know what I mean? So you're going to have to look at like, what is that time for you and what is that setting for you that makes you the most amount of money you can make the biggest impact in their life and their business, like scaling their businesses, and you actually enjoy. So that might look different to somebody than it looks like for me. Today I went back to a 6 months commitment because I don't want to be tied to someone and I don't want to have to fire clients, and I don't want to be tied to someone for that long of a period of time.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the advice of starting with one-on-one so you can really just work with people, understand the problems, figure out solutions and systems. So that's smart.
Yeah,
But you recommend to kind of quickly go into the group coaching?
I would. I literally I had my coaching call today, and one of my clients asked this question. She's ready to go into coaching, and I told her the same thing. I said, start with one-on-one, do a 3 month commitment, so you can see how you work and all that, and after that, make sure that they're open to change. And then go into a group setting. So, for example, you can get 4 or 5 one-on-one clients. It's going to take you, if you're spending an hour with them a week, that's 5 hours, right? If you have 5 of them, that's 5 hours a week. That's kind of like your whole day on Friday or Thursday or whatever you're going to do, right? Because you don't want to have them back to back. You want to breathe in between, make some phone call, check your phone, all of that. So let's say you're sacrificing your whole Friday for these coaching calls. Now think of it, a 3 month commitment. That's every Friday for the next 3 months. Like we are talking 12 weeks of every freaking Friday. So you might realize you don't want to do that every single week, like not for the money that it's making you, right? But now you have 5 clients, you can be like, ooh, let's do a group setting.
Mm,
And now if I'm taking you 5 to a group setting, now that means it's 1 hour of my time every Friday. All 5 of you come to that 1 hour. I still make the same amount of money, but I work 1 hour instead of working 5 hours every single Friday,
nice. I love it. No, that's a great strategy.
right? So
Yeah.
just kind of figure out what you like.
Oh, yeah. No, absolutely. It's got to fit your business, fit what you like, fit if you're able to make an impact. I like how you said, like, doesn't make an impact. Like, you're asking that question because at the end of the day, that's what you're getting
Well,
paid.
I'm driven by results. So if
Yeah.
I don't see results in their life, then I feel like I suck at my coaching. Right? I want to see that you actually built a coaching program or you fixed your social media or you hired and built a support team or you built a downline or, what I mean, like whatever that thing is that they decided to partner, join my coaching with, I want to see that result in the end of the 6 months or 12 months.
I love it. I love it. Um, what are some of your biggest tips for getting clients, coaching clients?
Open your mouth. I mean, if you don't exist on social media, you don't exist, right? So there's a few ways of doing it. Some people don't feel comfortable on camera. right? So because of that, they don't have an active social media account, which means you don't have organic traffic, right? That you organically generated. And then that means you have to pay. So it's really a question for you. It's like, okay, how do you want to get clients? Do you want to do it organically when it's free and you have control over it, when and how you put bacon on the table, food on the table? Or do you want to have to pay and rely on third-party services and companies that are going to put leads? But then it's so put it this way. If I get on let's say we have what I call our clarity calls. My clarity call is when someone raised their hand and said, yes, I want to coach with you. They jump on a clarity call with me, right? We talk for half an hour to an hour. I figure out who they are. They figure out who I am. They can ask me anything. I can ask them anything. And if I offer up a seat at the table, then they get to coach with me. If I don't offer up the seat, it was so nice to know you. Right. So kind of that's how it goes. Now, when I get on a call, these people have followed me. They already raised their hand. They already trust me because they have followed me for years. So out of 10, I close like 9.5 of them. Okay. Now, when you're paying for a third party company and you're getting strangers that are getting on a clarity call with you, you might have to talk to 40 of them to earn someone's trust to close them. So not only that it's going to cost you money up front, but then if you're going to have to spend so much time on getting that client because they haven't earned your trust yet, because you didn't give them a reason to, right? So if you ask me, social media all day.
Nice. I love it. What are some of the biggest lessons you've learned from social media? Because your social media is amazing. You do a really good job, and you could tell you have a lot of expertise in it. Like for, let's say, a coach that isn't on social media, and they're like, "Go, how do I start on social media?
I don't know.
What do I
I don't know
do?"
how you would make it as a coach if you're not on social media. Like, do you know of any coaches that are like making millions that are not on social media?
I know a few that do like ads to like a newsletter, and they're really good with email, and they run like webinars and things like that. Um, and they're
There's
not.
like, I don't, like, even if you think of like anybody I can think of today, they are famous because of social media. So their coaching is like, they just fill those seats. Like, they,
It's definitely a big part, like for, and especially the coaches that do have it, like, they do better, like, they absolutely do better, um, but there's some that just do email, like, I don't know if that's considered so probably not, no, but, like,
yeah.
they have.
I mean, we send a lot of emails. I have a very healthy email database. We send about, I think year to date, we already sent 6.5 million emails. Year to
What?
date, we'll probably close the year at 8-ish, 8.5, 9-ish, something like that. Right.
What
But
do you mean that how are you sending 9,000,000 emails?
yeah, because
900.
I have my database of email a day. So that just ends up multiplying.
Yeah, that's a lot of emails. Oh,
Yeah. Like, think of it. If you
yeah,
send,
no, you're right.
let's do it. Let's do 25,000. I don't know the exact database I have, but let's say 25,000 times 7 days a week. That's 175,000 times 4 weeks in a month. That's 700,000 emails in a month.
Yeah, oh, no, yeah, no, makes sense.
And if we multiplied it by 12, that's 8.4 million. Yeah. I said we're going to close somewhere between 8 and 9. Yeah.
Amazing. Oh, it's
And if you have an event or something, then you have extra things to market, right? So it ends up. But I was just as surprised as you were. When I started out initially, I think I had 11,000 in my database.
mhm.
And I thought that was so little. Like, I have 90,000 followers on Instagram. What do you mean I have 11,000 email addresses? Where is everybody else? Right. And so I was very surprised. But even that will end up. So if you look at, even if you just have, let's say, 10,000, right, in your email database, 10,000 times 30 days, that's 300,000 times 12 months, that's $3.6 million. Million dollars, 3.6 million emails. And
Nice.
if you sell a digital product in there, let's say, they somewhere through the 12 months end up buying a dollar with you, that's 3.6 million.
No, it's great. Yeah, no, email's a huge asset for so many
Yeah,
coaches, like,
yeah,
massive.
you
How
have
did you
to.
build your list? Was it from social media, like getting them from social to email?
Yeah.
Nice.
I give them free stuff, and then in order to get the downloadable, you have to download it somehow. I have to give it to you somehow, right? So they end up giving us their email addresses because they want the free downloadable.
Yeah. No, I love it. Okay, let me go back to that question that you thought was absolutely insane.
Oh, what would they even
You're a
on social
coach
media?
and you're not on social media, and you're like, "Okay, like, how do I get started? What do I do?" Like, what would be your recommendations?
Do they not want to be on social media, or they want to be, they just don't know where to start?
Let's say they're on it, but they're not doing too well. They're posting maybe once a day, they're not getting that much.
Once a day is good. Once a day is very good. Yeah, if you can do once a day, you're killing it on social media. Um, First of all, you need to earn. Okay, let me ask you this. What is, so play along with me. Let's say you are that coach that you're just starting out. Okay. My question would be, let's say you're on a coaching call, imagine this scenario. I would ask you, okay, cool. Arian, Arian. How do you, what would you like to coach about? What are you an expert in?
I am an expert in real estate.
Real estate. And what part of real estate? Real estate is very vast. Like, are we talking about you helping agents generate leads on the buy side, on the listing side? Are you going to help them build a local team? Are you going to help them build a downline? Are you going to help them figure out how to lead generate from social media? Like, what part of, are you going to help them become an investor,
Mhm. Yeah, let's
find
say I'm a real estate
investors?
investor. I help agents buy investment properties.
Oh, I love it. Okay, great. Now, can you tell me who needs your coaching? Who's your target audience?
Real estate agents that are living commission check to commission check.
Okay, well, if they're living commission check to commission check, they have no money to invest.
That's a good point. Okay, they have money saved for a down payment.
You see what I mean? So they have money, they just don't know what to do with it, right? So they are probably somewhat of a top producer, like medium to top producer, right? They have some of the money, they pay their taxes, they have good credit scores. They're just like, now what? Like, what am I supposed to do with this? Nobody taught me what to do with this, right? So this is the game I would play. Number one, I would want you to hone in on what are you the best at? What is your coaching program going to be about? Then you are going to go into ChatGPT, which you know you're going to help realtors to invest, right? Now we're going to go into ChatGPT and we're going to tell ChatGPT exactly what you want to do, right? Who you are, how long you've been in the industry, what you want to coach agents on. And then you're going to ask, who's my target audience? Who's my lowest hanging fruit? Who's the person that needs me the most? And tell me what's the pebble in their shoe? What is going to make them take action and they would want to coach with me? What type of content do I need to create in order for them to take action? What kind of content do I need to create to earn in the next 90 days, earn their trust? That's big. Because at first you don't want to sell to them until you earn their trust. When you earn their trust, you can sell them anything. In other ways to say it, the bigger the problem, the more people are willing to pay for it. So when your coaching program solves a big problem for them, they will pay whatever it takes just to remove that pebble from the shoe, right? And that's it. Then you go into ChatGPT, you say that, and ChatGPT is going to spit it right back at you. Like, here are your target audience. Here's your ideal client. Here's your low-hanging fruit. And then it's going to give you content. And you're going to say, okay, cool. I want to post daily, ChatGPT, and I want to post on Instagram. I want some carousel ideas. I want some reel ideas. I want some still photos ideas. I want all of the description. And the main idea here is to portray me as the biggest expert in the investment for real estate agents world, and I want to earn their trust in the next 90 days.
Nice.
And then just watch ChatGPT go, right? And then you're going to say, oh, take it one step further and put it into chronological order and literally plug it into my calendar. Today is October 14th. I want you 3 months from now would be November 14th, December 14th, January 14th. So I want you to start tomorrow on October 15th and plug each of these ideas into my calendar every single day. Like, give me this thing. I don't think it works with the calendar just yet. So you have to have a VA to plug those in there for you. But you will have the next 90 days planned out exactly what you need to do. You can actually ask it to create all of the carousels for you, the verbiage and a call to action. And then you are going to create, you ready? ManyChat keywords. Those keywords are going to go to a free product. At first, you're going to give free. Everything's going to be free at first. Why? Because we need to collect email addresses. Right? We need to grow that database because I want to sell you something one day. But in order for me to know who you are, I need you to A, follow me, and B, give me your email address so I can follow up with you. Right? So you're going to create those ManyChats keywords. You're going to create those free products. When they comment, booklet, they get your free booklet of how to track your down payment income for your first real estate property. And you give them a tracker, right? And so that's it. And then you just keep saying, okay, every week I'm going to give something for free. Every day I'm going to teach something. And in 3 months, you earn their trust. And then you sell them whatever you want. Okay, next question.
I love it. That was a masterclass right there. We got to clip that right there, clipping that. And that is a masterclass, one-on-one social media. Amazing. That was really well done. I love it.
Thank
Okay,
you.
next
I
question.
mean, I'm full of it. Christy, my left-hand girl, she's been with me for 14 years and she's left-handed. So I call her my left-hand girl. She's like, oh my gosh, Gogo, I'm going to shoot all of your squirrels because I have so many ideas.
Oh, nice.
She's like, I'm going to shoot all of your squirrels and put them into a duck row. She's like, you have so many ideas, but I'm full with ideas. And especially the ChatGPTs and the GPTs of the world and the AIs you can go into creation mode and get everything done in 3 days for the 3 months.
Hmm,
Hmm,
amazing.
my water's missing. Give me 1 second. Where did it go? Right here. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so you talk a little bit about AI, which is great. How do you see the future of the coaching industry with AI? How do you see it playing out? How are you preparing for it? What are you thinking? I love the fact that you talked about you're creating more communities and thinking about the residual. Yeah, any insights that you have thinking about the future?
Oh gosh, for me, I'm so excited about it because AI don't have to think and come up with all of the ideas to help my clients anymore. I can just tell them to ChatGPT it, give them a couple of bullet points, and they can literally have the whole plan. But most importantly, I think AI is really going to help us, people that are in the people business, even furthermore, right? Because people are going to crave the human connection.
Yeah.
Versus, yeah, you can go. I mean, you have it in your back pocket. You can talk to a robot all day, every day. But did a robot really build a business? Did they really been in the trenches? Do they have families? And do they understand the stress of a relationship, or you gaining weight, right, over the stress, the amount of stress that you have, and things like that? I think if anything, AI is doing us a huge favor for that good old handshake and the eye contact. Oh, yeah. One-on-one coaching and the group coaching where you have access to that human. Thank you. Thank you, ChatGPT.
I love it. Yeah, it's getting rid of all the boring work, all the admin work, and you're just focused
Yeah.
on the connections, the real connections,
But
the
I'm
real
putting the
connection.
emphasis, yeah, it's putting the emphasis on that human connection.
It's amazing. I love it. Well, Gogo, thank you so much for taking the time to be here today. You have a lot of wisdom, a lot of great insights, a lot of strategies. It's really amazing. Tell
Thank you.
everyone where they can find you and anything that you'd like to share with the audience.
If you would like to learn from me, the GoGet'Em Community is where you can get the knowledge, and it's very vast. Like I teach anything from social media to taxable income deduction to mindset to cryptocurrency, like anything that you can think of. Anything I learned anything about in the past 14 years, we invite the experts and they come teach inside of the community. So if you want to learn from me, that is your best. If you want to learn from me directly through my coaching, you can go to Gogo's Real Estate and just comment circle. That's my inner circle coaching program. And I only take 20 entrepreneurs. For that, you do have to qualify. So you do have to have 6 digits minimum, like very minimum 6 digits. I think the average income in the circle now is 600,000 a year. So you have to be making good money. I can't take you to 7 digits unless you can afford systems and human capital, right? Hiring and virtual assistants and in-person assistants and all that. So that would be the circle. You can go to Gogo's Real Estate and comment circle for my coaching or comment community for the GoGet'Em community. And if you want to learn anything about me, gogobethke.com. So my name.com, Gogo, just as you hear it. Gogo. You can't misspell that. Bethke is spelled Bethke. And everything on there you can find. If you want to partner with me at EXP, if you're a realtor and you want to take your real estate business to the next level, that would be the word partner on Gogo's Real Estate. So pretty much for anything, you can go to Gogo's Real Estate. That is the only place I personally answer. Everywhere else, you're talking to one of my assistants. I have 14 of them. So if you want to talk to me directly, then comment or DM me on Gogo's Real Estate on Instagram, and I answer every single DM myself.
Awesome, Gogo. Well, it was a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks so much for sharing your wisdom and your insights. That was awesome.
Thank you so much for having me.
Okay, all the
Thank
best.
you.
Bye.
Good to see you.